guys. Yep, that's right. That sly guy is at it again. That sneaky devil. The letter Y. And I'm at it again too with my mask being safe. But I'm not going anywhere today, so I'm going to take this off. Whew. All right. It's not easy wearing a mask. Okay, anyway, we're going to review real quick the sounds of Y. All right, so we found out that it acts like a consonant when it's at the beginning of a word, like yes and yellow. Yoo-hoo, right? It sounds like y. All right. We also found out that it says long I when it's the only working vowel or it comes at the end of the word, like fly. One syllable, fly, cry, try, why. Okay, remember those? Okay. Now, we're going to talk about one more sound of that letter Y. So let me take this one down. And we're going to take a look at this one. And excuse my homemade charts here. Mrs. Marinara is using whatever I have here at home, which is not a whole bunch because all of it's at school. Anyway, that sly Y says E, the long E sound, when it's at the end of two syllables. Like this word. Pony. That's two syllables, right? So we hear a long O and we hear a long E. Pony. Pony. That's when the Y sounds like an E. Okay? All right. So let's try some words with that understanding. We found out that if it's two syllables and it's at the end of that word, it may say the sound of long E. All right, let me move you a little closer. Sorry, my camera skills are not that great, but I am trying. All right, so our first word, I'm going to give you a second to read it, and then we'll go over it, okay? And today I'm in my living room, so you see some pictures behind me. Okay, this is a word we may say when something tastes delicious. What do you think that word might be? Let me cover this part up. What do you think? Yum. And there's that Y at the beginning. It's going to say y. And then I see it here. Oh, yum. E. That's right, two syllables. Yummy. Yummy in my tummy. And yes, they sound the same. Yummy. Can you clap it out? Good job. All right, next word. All right, over here we have someone's name. And this person's name actually, 3 syllables. That's right, that's Annalie. Annalie. All right, and we see it at the end. Just like my name is Tracy. But there's no E in my name. I only have a Y. So there you go, Annalie, and her name actually has more than 2 syllables. Can you clap that out? Annalie, that's right, 3 syllables. Fantastic. It's following the rule. Okay, something we can't have right now, but hopefully we can have a real big one when this is all over. We know that R is a pirate sound. R-T. What's that word? That's right, it's party. Party. Let's clap it out. Does it have 2 syllables? Yes, it does. All right, next word. Okay, oh, this is something, I feel this way when I'm feeling this way. And I taught you this before. Okay, not thirsty, that's one finger, but this one. What would that be with the U-N-G? Kind of like ing, but ung. Hungry. That's right, I get when I am hungry. Hungry, very good. Clap it out. Does it have 2 syllables? Yes, it does. Next word. I feel this way when I have my chocolate. That's right. What is that word? Happy. Yes, clap it out. Yes, it does have 2 syllables. Next one. I know, I try to be this, but sometimes I'm not. I'm silly, and sometimes I try to be, that's right, funny. Clap that one out. All right, next one. This one I don't like too much, and this one we saw in action in one of Junie B. Jones's books when she was hiding in the hamper. What was that book called? Remember? Sneaky Peeky Spying. That's right. 2 vowels. First vowel does the talking, second one does the walking silently, and then this third guy is going to pretend to be an E. Sneaky. Don't be sneaky. All right. And that's last word, because if you're sneaky, your parents are going to become what? Another word for mad. That's right. There's that A-N-G. Angry. Angry. All right. So those are some examples of that other Y, sound that we found out about. Okay? All right. I know my brain is not ready today. Okay, I'm going to stop with that part, and now we're going to move on to our next lesson, or next part of my morning. So we are going to be visiting a story. I don't know if you've heard this story before. I had not, so it's new to me, but I think you will enjoy it. It's a very sweet story. As we're listening to the story, I want you to put a special ear out for the word whines and complain. And we'll talk about that when the story's over. So this is called The Invisible Boy, and it's by Trudy Ludwig. Okay, I'm going to move this down so you can see the book. All right. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I did when I read it. I just got it in the mail yesterday, and I read it. Okay, so I'm going to take the book jacket off only because it gets in my way. But we know what the book jacket's for, right? To keep our books warm. Not to keep our books clean and nice and taken care of, right? Because we value our books, that we respect our books. Okay, so there's a little boy over there. Okay, I'm going to move this down so you can see the pictures. Okay. Title page. Beautiful. Okay, I want you to take a look at that setting. Where do you think they are? Okay, think about that. Okay, good. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Mrs. Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. I wonder if they are giving her problems. Can you spot Brian? I think that's him right there. Yeah, I think so too. All right. Nathan had problems with what Mrs. Carlotti calls volume control. What do you think that means, guys? That's right, how loud he is. So do you think he's quiet or do you think he's loud? Why is she complaining? Yeah, I think he's being loud. He uses his, here we go, outside voice inside too much. So we were right. Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Think about those words. What kind of words are those? Are they adjectives, nouns, or verbs? Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't. Brian looks like student of the month to me. These two, not so much. When the bell rings for recess, Mackay and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball teams. The best players get picked first. Then the best friends of the best players. Then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. How does that make you feel? Me too. Sad. Lonely. And that's another reason why we have the buddy chair, or the buddy bench, in our playground outside, for people to go there so that a buddy can come join you. JT glances, you know what that word means, in Brian's direction, and just as quickly looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. Not nice at all. And that's being a bully. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over the pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water slide, added Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, says Madison. Everybody did except... That's right, Brian. He wasn't even invited. Shame. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at his table, doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons, scaling tall buildings. Thank you for... I'm not sure what that says. Let's see. Oh, thank you for toasting my marshmallow. See, that's why it's important to write neatly, guys, because sometimes when it's not really that neat, it's hard to distinguish what letters are there. I couldn't tell if it was an O or an A. He also loved drawing space aliens locked in intergalactic battles, greedy pirates digging for treasure, and superheroes with the power of making friends wherever they went. Hi, friends, have a cookie. Hi. Arr, crackers. I got you now. And friends, why do you think he's picking those kinds of things to draw? Those kind of characters? You betcha. He wants friends. Now notice what's going on here, guys. I want you to think about what's happening here. I see a young man right here. This guy, yes, who looks a little reluctant, a little hesitant. What do you think? All right, let's find out. On Monday morning, Mrs. Carlotti introduced Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their minds yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. What's that? Asked Madison as she points to Justin's food. It's bulgogi. What? Bulgogi. It's Korean barbecued beef. My grandma made it for me, and it's really good. Do you want to try some? Psh, there's no way I'm tasting bulgogi. And the kids laugh. All of them, except, you know, Brian. He sits there wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. Justin, I thought the bulgogi looked good. Brian, yum. Look what Brian drew. Isn't that an awesome picture? What a nice gesture. What a nice thing to do when someone's feeling down like that, to just secretly put a note in their backpack to let them know you're thinking about them. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. You're right, Brian. Yeah, thanks for the note. Hey, Justin, Amelia calls out from the tetherball court. You're up next. Sorry, I gotta go. Justin says, by the way, that's a really cool drawing. Back in class, Mrs. Carlotti asked the kids to team up in 2s or 3s for special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off, just like you guys do. Brian heads toward Justin. I'm already with Justin, says Emilio. Find someone else. Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole to swallow him up. Mrs. Carlotti said we can have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio. Let's work with us. Come on. Okay, so now the 3 of them are going to work together, which is much more fair than 2. Mrs. Carlotti gives the class directions for the project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in that photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. Whoa, cool, says Emilio. What kind of people do you think would live in a house like that? I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story, says Justin. Brian smiles as he takes out his lucky pen. It's lunchtime again, Brian's least favorite part of the day. And you know why. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else, except him. Brian, he hears someone shout. Hey, Brian, over here. Make a prediction. Make a guess. Who do you think is calling him? Great, you have great brains. Brian turns and sees Justin waving. And Emilio nods at him as Brian makes room for him to sit at the table with them. Cookie? Thanks. Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not so invisible after all. The end. Great story, right, friends? And this book is going to be added to the Field Street School Library in memory of Mrs. Nikki Nolan, who was a teacher at Lafayette Pershing. We want to remember her by creating some wonderful memories in the library in the Mentor Text Corner. All right, I hope you enjoyed it, friends. I love you. And I'll see you in a few minutes for Junie B. Jones.